Hello YouTube viewers, it is Jordan Mustang 87 back once again for the start of another playthrough, and this time I think we're now going to return to the rallying scene, probably from here up until the end of the year most likely, because well, we're already in late November and well, because since I have not really been on the rallying scene for a bit, although if you've been keeping up with my Gran Turismo 4 playthrough, you'll probably know that I have more or less been doing bits of rallying, but this time we're actually going to do some proper rallying, as we are now going to be playing the PlayStation 2 release of World Rally Championship. And yes, believe it or not, in the PlayStation 2 age, this is the first time we actually get a game itself that is exclusively licensed by the WRC, and that's precisely what we're doing now. So, first of all, we need to create a saved profile because, well, if you paid attention to my intro, you will obviously know that I did not do that. And I gotta say, the intro to this game, it was actually longer than I thought it was going to be. And because the saved file is pretty big, that's why it's taking a while. And yes, as you might have guessed, I am recording this on my PlayStation 2. So, this game was developed by a computer software company called Evolution Studios Limited, and that company was the developer for the World Rally Championship games from this one, which first came out in November of 2001, and then after this we would get 4 more games to follow up each year, as Evolution Studios held the licensing to develop the WRC games from 2001 up to the end of 2005. And now, I need to turn the music down a bit because, well, it's a little loud. Yeah, I think that should do it. I'll also turn the effects volume down a bit as well, just so I can hear myself, and I'm pretty sure background music is not... Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, by the way, I should mention I have never officially played this game before, until now. So, as I said before, this game, it first came out in November of 2001. It's based off of the 2001 World Rally Championship, which, for want of a better phrase, is considered by many to be one of the craziest World Rally Championships ever, and where the championship itself was eventually won by Richard Burns, who had only 1 win all season, but through his sheer consistency, he was able to take the title driving the Subaru Impreza, which, believe it or not, was ironically the same Subaru more or less, give or take, that ultimately won Petter Solberg the World Rally Championship in 2003, at least in terms of the team anyway. So, I think everything else is fine. I'll just change the controller setup because I can do that. And because I am right-handed, of course, I'm gonna go with... yeah, this'll work. Let's go with controller setup 2. And buttons, they will, of course, be analog. And as for the gears, well, I, of course, am going to change those over to manual because I prefer to make my gear shifts manually. And don't really need vibration, so I think I'll turn that off as well. But yeah, so as I said before, Evolution Studios had the development for the WRC games from 2001 up to the end of 2005, and then by the time that WRC contract expired, they eventually went on to develop what we know today as the hugely popular MotorStorm series. A series itself that is also quite good, and I have also done a playthrough of the first MotorStorm game if you want to check it out. I'll probably leave a card for it in the video somewhere, but anyway, that's just me. So, in terms of graphics, I think we should be okay. Don't really think we need to change anything here. We pretty much have all the details we need. And we've also got sector splits, arrows, split screen. I'm gonna go widescreen because obviously widescreen TV. And also with the speedometer, obviously I'm choosing miles over kilometers because, well, I personally prefer miles. And as for the position of the screen, I think we should be fine. So these are the main things we get. We get World Rally Championship, which is basically the career mode. We also get Single Rally, Time Trial, WRC Challenge, something which I will get on with later. We've also got 2-player, we can also load a saved game, options which I have already showcased, and we also get the extras, which I am pretty sure are no doubt cheat codes, from what I know. And we also get all these other things as well. So we can view replays, view our high scores, also got movies, which is basically cutscenes. We've got secrets, which I'd assume are the cheat codes, and last but not least, we have the credits. So, I think I'm going to head over to Single Rally, and we only have 4 rallies unlocked at the moment, as we've got Monte Carlo, Sweden, Portugal and Spain. The other rallies we have in this game include Argentina, Cyprus, Greece, Kenya, which is basically Africa, Finland, New Zealand, Italy, France, Australia, and last but not least, we end off in Great Britain, which was a pretty popular venue to end off the World Rally Championship at for the time, even though they technically end the World Rally Championship in all sorts of other locations these days. Do excuse me for a moment, I think my voice is dropping off. Yeah, sorry about that. My voice just suddenly dropped and I figured I had to get myself a sip of water. Anyway, back to the introduction. So, with World Rally Championship, we do get a cutscene, and I will showcase that in a bit. But first of all, I'm going to select a rally at random so I can showcase all the cars we have available. And we only have 2 difficulties here at the moment. Professional is not unlocked yet. We've only got Novice and we've got Normal. So basically these are easy, medium and hard, and I will try my best to go through each of those difficulties. So I'll just select Novice. These are the cars we have available to us. So in terms of the cars that we have in this game, and I don't think there are any bonus cars. These are the, I think, 7 cars we can choose from in this game. As for starters, we've got the Peugeot 206 WRC. and I'm also pretty sure that we get our fair share of drivers and co-drivers as well, as we've got Marcus Grönholm, who was Peugeot's lead driver at the time, also reigning champion no less. We've also got Gilles Panizzi and Hervé Panizzi. I'm going to assume these two are brothers. And we've also got the former World Rally Champion, Didier Auriol. And we also have Denise. And we also have, I think it's pronounced Denis Giraudet. I think that's how it's pronounced. I do apologise if my pronunciations are wrong. I am trying my best. And last but not least, we have Harry Rovanpera and Risto Pietiläinen, is it? I'll have to figure out these translations once I'm done here, but either way, we get our fair share of driver picks and also car picks. And of course, well, Marcus Grönholm, heading into 2001, he technically was the reigning world champion of the WRC. We also get the Ford Focus, the Subaru Impreza, the Mitsubishi Lancer, the Hyundai Accent, the Skoda Octavia, and last but not least, the developing Citroën Zara. And this was also before Citroën absolutely blew the doors off with its competition. And that's it. So from Ford, we get to choose from Ford driver because, well, since there was the Colin McRae Rally Series, they could not use Colin McRae's name in vain. So we get Colin McRae and Nicky Grist. We also get Carlos Sainz and Louis Moya, I think is how it's pronounced. We also get Francois Delacour and Daniel Grataloup. I do apologise if I'm getting these names wrong, but I think that's how it's pronounced. And yeah, that's it. So from Subaru we get Richard Burns and Robert Reed. We also get Petter Solberg and Phil Mills. And last but not least, we get Marco Martin and Michael Parks. Oh yeah, and we also get Toshihiro Arai and Glenn McNeil. Again, I do apologise if I'm getting these names wrong. And from Mitsubishi we get Tommy Mäkinen and Risto Mani-Senmaki, is it? Someone might have to tell me what these pronunciations are. I'm not very good with pronouncing foreign names. We also get Freddie Loix and Sven Smeets, is it? I don't really know. And that's it from Mitsubishi. From Hyundai we get Kenneth Eriksson and Staffan Parnander, is it? Again, I'm still trying my hardest here, do bear with me. We also get Alistair McRae, who by the way is Colin's brother, and David Sr. And we also get Piero Liatti and Carlo Cassina. And from Skoda we get Armin Schwartz with Manfred Heimer. We also get Bruno Thierry and Stefan Prevost, I think is how it's pronounced. And that's it. And last but not least from Citroën, we get Philippe Bugalski and Jean-Paul Chiaroni, is it? We also get Marc Marti and Jesus Perra. I think that's how it's pronounced. Well, Jesus Perez, I think is how it's pronounced. And last but not least, we get Thomas Radstrom and Tina Thorner. And that's pretty much all of your driver and co-driver choices with all 7 vehicles. As we ironically start and end our choices with 2 French manufacturers. And now we will move on to the World Rally Championship, where we will get a cutscene.
One of the most demanding.
Okay, let me try that again, because I accidentally spoke over the cutscene. So here is our introduction to the World Rally Championship, and the moment I know all of you have been waiting for. Anyway, here is the introduction to the World Rally Championship.
Welcome to one of the most demanding and challenging motorsport competitions on the planet, the World Rally Championship. Take some of the best drivers in the world, add some of the most incredible cars, and mix in some tarmac, gravel and ice. Forget about first across the line, the race in the WRCs against the toughest rival of all, time. Each rally is broken into stages with points for the fastest times taken to complete the overall event. The cars themselves carry the names of some familiar family motors. But under the skin, they're purpose-built rally machines with 4-wheel drive, turbos galore, and horsepower counted in the hundreds. They'll need it too, with conditions across the championship ranging from sub-zero Scandinavian forests to the overpowering heat and dust of Kenya and Greece. With the World Rally Championship, it's not just a question of winning, but surviving.
So like with the single race stages we get in this game, we get to choose from 3 difficulties, and we can choose either novice, normal or professional. I don't think novice is really part of the in-game progression, so I don't think that's really going to matter. But the normal difficulty and the professional difficulty, I'm pretty sure they are part of the in-game progression. Oh yeah, and in terms of the publishers for this game, just before I forget, the publishers we have for each of these releases include Sony Computer Entertainment Europe. We also get Spike Corporation Limited, I think it is, or Spike Company Limited I should say, for the Japan release. And for the United States release, it's BAM Entertainment Incorporated, I think anyway. But either way, those are the publishers for this game. So let's start off with normal. And we get a choice of 7 cars to choose from here. And since I'm pretty sure this is not going to be too much of an ordeal for me to win, I will no doubt be using one of the slower cars first. And I think what I'm going to use for this, I think I might use the Hyundai, but I don't know for sure. Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave you, and where next time we will begin the World Rally Championship playthrough on the PlayStation 2. So, that will conclude the introduction, and next time we will begin racing in the World Rally Championship. On now to Monte Carlo.